Before we get stuck into fighting, I want to talk about putting down some roots. Um, how's the house and all that gone for you recently, mate? Because I was kind of living my life vicariously through you and Team Machado Garry, traveling around the world and
Hey,
enjoying
hey,
all these exotic places that you go to.
hey, it has not stopped.
Good.
I have bought a home. I have put roots down. And I moved in October. Since October, right? I went to Thailand for 2 weeks, Vegas for a week, Brazil for 5 weeks, Oman for a week,
Fair,
Madrid
fair.
for a weekend.
Okay, okay.
Then we're in bleeding America again. It ain't stopping, dude. My wife told me, she said, listen, I'm promising you now, I tell you, when we get this home, it's going to enable travel more. It's going to feel easier. I was like, I don't believe a word of it. I don't believe it. I don't see what you mean by it. Now I do. And that's why we have women by our sides, because they know better than us most of the time.
Absolutely,
Right?
man.
And
Set the
if you don't
instruction.
think they do, if you don't think they do, then you're living in your wrong world. Because they do. They know everything.
So,
But she was right.
so has it changed the training patterns or anything like that? Are you still in and around the world? Because I know that you did a lot of it in Brazil
Yeah.
previously. Is that kind of still the plan going forward?
So the plan is always to continue traveling, learning, and growing because when you have so many people in the world that you can learn and gain knowledge from, it's a terrible business decision and evolution decision to not go travel and learn.
Of course.
However, I do want to create a world class training environment close to home so that I can be at home, and that's what I've done this camp. I'm going to pull everyone to me. I'm going to train at Memento Mori in Reigate in Surrey. I'm going to pull people from all over the UK, Ireland, and Europe. And we are going to train and we're going to make an elite camp here. And it was a massive success.
Mate, sounds like the perfect plan, pal. Sounds like the perfect plan. As we head on into this, obviously the bat signal went up. Who can save a card? Obviously, you always stick your hand up for that type of stuff, of which we're going to talk about in a minute. But I want to talk about reflections first and foremost on the Shavkat fight. Now that the dust has settled on it, what do you take away from it?
That I'm better than I believe I was, that I'm better than I think I am. I went out there on 3 weeks' notice against the scariest guy in the division. Everyone considered him to be the boogeyman, this assassin, and I proved that he's just human. And after the fight, I think everyone in the world can agree that I'm the more dangerous fighter. And if there was one more round, I think he would have wilted away in despair.
I don't think I've shouted so much in a fifth round for a very, very long time, mate. Because going into it, let's be honest, the fourth round flips a little bit, doesn't it? And he's got a bit of a dominant position because I thought that you changed the momentum in the third. But going
I
into that
did.
fifth,
I did.
I think going into that fifth, I thought he's going to need a finish here if he's going to pull this off.
Me
And then
too.
all of a sudden, you're on his back, man.
I
Trying to,
know.
and I'm thinking, what the hell is going on here? This wasn't what people was telling us pre-fight.
That was definitely not. Hey, look, this is all the noise you hear. It's all noise outside. I can promise. Hey, hi, hey, Leo just climbed up on the door, little mad. Love you. He's blowing kisses at me. I knew going into that fight how talented I was. I knew going into that fight how good I am in every facet of the game, and I knew how talented Shavkat was. But I know I can beat him,
Yeah.
and I said it all week. I'm going to beat this guy. I'm going to make sure that this guy is human. And I was this fucking close to, right? And you're right. I was one takedown away from stopping that takedown in the fourth round, and I win 3-4-5. And he won 1 and 2, but I kind of burned them. That was on me. I didn't get going early enough. I should have went out there and put it on him like I did in the third round straight away.
So
And
is that
then
the
maybe we'll
learn?
be talking. And maybe we'll be talking about a different decision. And that's just the way it is. And if I had finished MVP in the first round, it might have been a whole different ball game of superstardom right now. But I can only control what I can control right now,
Of
sat
course.
here in this interview right now. And the past is the past for some reason. And God has a plan and he has it paved out for me. And maybe all of that is just to make me a bit more violent and a bit more dangerous when I step into the octagon. Because I can tell you now, I'm still living.
Okay. So with that in mind, we're fighting Carlos Prates at the weekend, right?
I'm not going to
Now,
call it a fight. It's going to be an asshole.
Right. So with that then in mind, because most people would look at this and they'll go, here Machado Garry comes out the Shavkat fight with his stock going up. Okay, he's not lost any position within the division, still in a prominent position.
Nope.
And therefore, the next offering is definitely a top 5 fight.
100%.
And who knows, with injuries and things like that, it might even end up being an eliminator and you're next in line. All right, these things could actually
100%.
play out for
That's
you.
absolutely a massive possibility.
Okay, so why take this? Is it because, and I'll just throw this on you, is it because there's a lot of hype about him? He is a violent individual, and therefore when you are fighting a violent individual, there are opportunities to be violent back and get the highlight reel. Is that what you're seeing in the possibility of this at the weekend?
No, not that point. I'll tell you what the reality is. When Hunter calls me and says, hey, do you want to fight? I say yes. We're a fucking fighting Irish, mate. You offer me a fight, I say yes. I've proved it against Shavkat. I've proved it now against Carlos Prates. It doesn't matter how long it is, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I'm ready to go. I'm the new age of this UFC fighter that you're seeing, the young generation, the change, the evolution of a fighter. I'm ready to go at any point. And when you offer me a fight, I'll say yes. I didn't even know it was Carlos Prates when I said yes. I said yes before the fight, hung up, and then my agent called me back again and said, yo, don't you want to know who it is? And that was the genuine truth. I just said yes. Carlos is dangerous. He has got a lot of hype around him. Dana has openly said how much he loves him. That, to me, is all great. But at the end of the day, when everyone steps in the octagon with me, I get to go out there and prove how talented I am against someone. And Carlos Prates steps in here this weekend with a lot of hype, with a lot of people thinking he's this, he's that, he's the dog's bollocks. When another fact, it's me. I'm the guy everyone should be talking about. And when this fight finishes on Saturday night and that guy's face down unconscious and I'm screaming on the mic saying I'm next and anyone has a problem with it, they can go and deal suck eggs. So I mean, it's me. If you have a problem with it, you come see me. I'll say yes to a fight. But I'm next.
Do you see that attitude that you're talking about now, that you hold? Do you see that in other fighters? Or is it few and far between?
There needs to be a certain level of self-confidence to be able to, on the drop of a dime, be able to accept a fight anywhere in the world against anyone of any style or skill set. I've got it all. I'm as confident gets. I know how talented I am. I know the gifts God gave me. And it's just my job to go out there and put it on full display for the world to enjoy.
What does he do well? What do you see in his game that could be a challenge come Saturday night?
He has a big left hand. Other than that, nothing really. I'm going to go out there and wherever the fight goes, for however long the fight is, I'm going to dominate every single second. I want the world where people come away from this fight on Saturday night and just sit there and go, he's just too good. Like, we keep seeing him against these guys that we think are amazing, and then he does this. I want people to be speechless on Saturday night.
We've talked about the ramifications of what could happen regarding fights for you. I know that you've openly spoken about fighting anywhere else other than America, and that has to be Dublin for you. Have you had the conversation with the UFC about the possibility of bringing the UFC back to Dublin? Because if you're beating Carlos Prates and there's a top contenders fight or maybe even a title fight in,
I'm fighting a title fight after. That's the way my mind is going. You
but
don't
Dublin,
take back-to-back short notice fights, go out there and prove it, and not get rewarded with something like that.
But Dublin's got to be part of this conversation now. It's got to be a real part of the conversation.
This is my 10th fight in the UFC. Isn't that mental?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Activity levels have been solid, man.
This is my second most active fighter in UFC in the UFC since the day I made my debut. Second only to Alexi Poitin, Pereira.
How many have you had? You've had 10 since when? November
6th.
21.
21.
He made his debut on that same card, didn't he?
I know he did. And he saved 2 big fight nights on short notice as well.
How many's Kevin Holland had in that time? Has he had a few?
I don't think he's up there with me,
Okay.
mate.
Okay.
I think
Well,
he's been
anyway,
up there.
listen, an average of a fight of every 4.5 months is blooming good going. Good going.
I
But
want to get
anyway,
the belt, and I want to have 6 in a year.
jeez, man.
I want to go every 2 months. And
Mate,
look,
you really
I'm
won't
here.
be at home. If you're
I'm
doing
here
6 a
for a
year, you
good
really
time
won't be at
and a
home, will
long
you?
time. Let's make it worth the while. Let's go. Let's see who's ready to go. That's the way I look at it.
Is Dublin on obviously as part of that conversation?
Dublin is absolutely going to be a focus. I have spoke to the UFC numerous times, and the conversation I keep getting is logistical in regards to the operation side of the UFC
Yeah.
and how they're just a bigger company now and they need more trucks and satellites and yeah, all the behind the scenes stuff. Yes, they can put an octagon in the this arena and we can fight, but they're a bigger organization and need more things logistically backstage. That's the operation. That's the logistical conversation I keep talking about. So it's just gonna have to be Croke Park, and they're gonna have to pay for a ticket, and we're
I
gonna
like that
have to
you've
stick 100,000 people in there, and we're
got.
just gonna have to put on a show that warrants 100,000 people in the seats, and that's it. And maybe we call the big man back, and maybe we get people like Ilya Tuporia to come on and make
Mate,
it a world
wow.
class show, one of the biggest of all time. The Fighting Irish. Look, people in Ireland will pay any amount of money to watch a fight. You stick it in Croke Park and you put on
Wow.
a star-studded lineup, biggest show in UFC history, bar none.
There's no doubt about that, mate. No doubt about that.
Give me a
Just
world title fight in there. You put me as a headline, and let's line it up. Let's line it up. Ian Machado Garry wins world title, defends it against his rival Shavkat Rakhmonov. There's one. Ian Garry beats Belal Muhammed, wins the world title. Boom. The pound for pound number one, Islam Makhachev, wants to come up and face Ian Garry for that world title. Boom, baby. There we go. All of Russia can come over too. It's not a far flight from Russia to Ireland. 100,000 people in the Croke Park. Ooh.
is that what you see? Because you're big on visualization. I know you are. Is that what you see? Do you see that it will be, for example, Islam that you will fight for the title? When you shut your eyes, what's the path?
I mean, if the way the division is right now, it's a case of Bilal's the champion,
Yeah.
and Bilal doesn't want to fight Islam because of the links to Khabib and a brother and stuff like that. And also, I think Bilal knows that I'm not good for him, right? You think he knows? I'm afraid of no man, and I have nothing but respect for the pound for pound king at the moment. I think he's phenomenal, but I have always said to be the best, you need to beat the best, and I want to compete against the best. I love and respect Islam, but if I have the belt or he has the belt, that's a fight I'm willing to fight.
His journey is going to be determined by what happens at 315. So quickly
Yeah,
on Belal and Jack, how do you see that going?
I think Belal smashes him. I think Belal ragdolls him,
Okay.
smashes him, and I don't think there's a lot of things Jack is going to have to answer the questions. I think I've seen Jack get ragdolled by people who aren't as good at Belal. So I think Belal gets a finish, mate. Fourth or fifth round.
Which then would just halt Islam's move to 170. So then off the
And
back
then
of
I win
this,
the belt. And
okay.
then it's a case of Shavkat or Makhachev. Who's next? Do we give the respect to the number one pound for pound king? I would say everyone else takes a step back and allows the man who is the number one pound for pound. You give the respect or respect is due. Islam comes up. And then it's a case of can he and Machado Garry go out there and become in his second fight as in his first title defense? Can he solidify himself as the pound for pound number one?
Here's one for you then, just to finish this off. You win at the weekend in devastating fashion. Are you going to go to 315, big cage side, or maybe even be on call just in case something falls off with that fight for you to be able to step in last minute as you keep doing throughout the course of the UFC to fight for the title at the UFC 315?
What if I won up to you? And
Say it again.
what if I went up to you and I told you the flights are already booked?
You can't can't, mate. You can't finish with that. You might drop me and then clear off for the rest of the day. You can't do that. Mate, you've got to be there. You have to listen. Off the back of a devastating performance, you've got to be there and you've got to be around it throughout the course of the week because you never know. This is a crazy game, as you are fully aware, and crazy things have happened.
I'm going to finish Carlos Prates on Saturday night, and I'm next in line for that belt.
And enjoy Montreal then, after the back of Kansas.
Cheers to that, mate. I'm in.
Ian, it's great to see you happy, smiling, and I've said to you many times, there's lots of people that talk the talk. There's not a lot of people that walk the walk. You are exactly what every single fight fan wants, mate. Taking the fights that we all want you to see. Go and deliver it the weekend. Put on a show. Enjoy.
Hey, I can tell you now, that's never going to change. That's the person I am at heart. That's the character I am. You call me to fight, I'm saying yes. So I just hope you guys enjoy the title reign that's coming and enjoy the activity because we're going to change this welterweight division. We're going to get it moving and we're going to start recycling through these things. It's going to be just rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat.
Well, if you're going to do 6 a year, mate, you really won't be in your new house. So good luck to you. See you in a bit.
I appreciate it, dude. Have a great day. Enjoy the show.
And you, buddy. See you in a bit, mate. Take care. Love to everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.